Hi, it's Jez from Nigezza Creates. Thank you for joining me today. So it is day 2 of hashtag Crafty Summer Simples, the collaboration between RachandBellaCrafts and Angela Kerr. They've both created beautiful kits. You can see some of it behind here, and they are linked down below. If you go to Rachel's Kofi site for Rachel's kit, and if you go to Angela's website for her kit, for the first 2 weeks of the collaboration, they're at 40% off. So you're going to want to grab those. I am partnered today with Rach from RachandBellaCrafts. There'll be links down below to the collaboration, to their shops, etc. So let's see what simple thing I've come up with. So I am part of hashtag Crafty Summer Simples. So this is a collaboration between RachandBellaCrafts and Angela Kerr, and they've collaborated together on a kit. So they've each made a kit. They complement each other really well, and the idea of this collaboration is to do simple things so that we can get crafting. Sometimes you kind of lose your mojo, you're not inspired, so the idea is everybody's thinking of something simple that you could do, and I have decided to do a whack-a-stack, I think it's called, yeah, I've always fancied trying one. So I have picked out some of the background sheets from both kits to do this, and then a few things that can add as a focal point at the top. So Rach, these are Rach's papers, and she's done a sort of a mini section with 2 sheets per page, and then I've printed them 2 sheets per page. So I'm getting smaller bits because I want them to be sort of tag shaped. So I've chosen this little set here. I'm not quite sure about the ones with the birds, but we'll see. Got these lovely florals here, and I do love that sort of patchworky effect background. Love these backgrounds. I used that sheet at the retreat when we had just a very short time to make something on the spot. So yeah, I love these pages particularly, and these are Angela's pages. I do love these sort of old, sort of like chintzy sort of florals, very sort of vintage looking. I printed this one 2 to a page because I liked the wood effect. Anybody who knows me knows I don't really like people, so they ain't going to feature. Lovely as they are, and if you like people, then you know that's great, but I'm not a fan of them, but I am a fan of the wood background. And then I printed these half size that Angela made, and I just think they're beautiful, so I thought they might be good focal points on the tags that I make. And I love these little birds that Rach did. Really like them. I teamed it up with those, so I thought they might be quite good to sort of surround and layer. And then I printed this off. Again, this is Angela's, and again I did it half the size. And she's got these words, and I thought they'd be about the right size. If I'd done them full size, I felt they would be too big. Got a bonus of that. I won't be using those, but I might use those little bits. And then there's like some ripped washi tape, which I liked. And then I thought if the tags that I've printed, these tags, weren't big enough, I could use some of these on the background as well. Just something sort of neutrally. So that is what I've printed off. So a bit from everybody. So what I want to do now is cut these down to the sort of size that I want. Now I'm going to do the sheets that I've printed here that came out. So I did them 2 to a page, 4 to a page even, Jez. There's 4 of them, you Burke. But these were 2 to a page because these were already cut down. But they come out with a border, but I'm not gonna stress about that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ruler it because it'll be quicker. So I'm just ripping that in half. Ripping that. This might be a little bit more difficult, but I did it. So these are going to be slightly smaller than the others, so I'm going to sort of do them to shape, and I might make them a little bit smaller, because if I want to make them to tags, I do actually want them a bit smaller. So let's have a little play with size. Do many size you want, of course. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. This is just to give you ideas to then sort of adapt however you like. So that's quite big for a tag. If we look at it, it is centimeters coming up first. It's about 14 centimeters by 9.5, which in inches we've got 3 3/4 by less than 5.5. So if I want this to be a nice sort of tag width, that I might then cut down. I'm gonna get my board out so I can see easier on my chopping board. Excuse the mess. I know I keep calling it a chopping board. You know what I mean. I'm gonna get this down to 3, but the I'm gonna put that sort of centre line down the centre, and I'm going to go 1.5 this way, only because it's centred. I'm going to go up to that line there and make it as straight as I can, although it doesn't really matter. But I want to get all these bits the same. Now you can do this with a printer. You can do this with a trimmer, and it'd probably be a lot quicker if you did it with a trimmer. So I'm quite happy now. That is 3 inches wide, and it's 1 2 3 4 5.25 tall. That is kind of where I'm going with that. That one's been ripped because I particularly like the look of ripped edges. I'm going to do the 2 ways, so you can decide for yourself. Have a little look-see and see which way round you prefer. So I'm going to trim these so you can see how you could do it with a straight edge. Not gone quite up to the edge there. There we go. Take that off. Take that off. Did I rip that edge? Can't remember. Right, so now I want it to be 3 inches. This, because that's centered, I'm going to put this sort of center line at 1.5, and then I'm going to go to 3. So that'll do that. So I might do that again. Save me a cut. Go in the centre there, about 1.5, and then that side to 3. So they are the same size. So now let's get the others done. So I might speed this bit up. I might do them together. I'm now abandoning the idea because it's quick. Abandoning the idea of ripping. I'm doing them all cut up because that's how I'm rolling today. So I've cut them down because these are printed without a margin. So we want them to be, this one I don't think I'm going to use because it's got a line in the middle, so I might just use that for a bit of a background. So we'll get rid of that. So I want this to be 3 inches wide. There we go. Is it it is a tad longer, so we just need to take a smidge off the end, and that will be fine. So now we've got all these bits that are the same size, 2 there that are ripped, few scraps. So I've got 3 lots of 5 sets, and what we're going to have is 15 tag bases when we've finished. Okay, so there are different ways of doing this. One way is to use a trimmer. I'm going to get my little one in now and hope it's strong enough. So we're gonna chop it. So, and you want all the pieces to be more or less the same size. So I'm chopping that down there. I'm going to chop that down there, keeping them all in the same order. I'm going to chop that one. Down there. And then this one in half. So that is that. So now I'm going to take going to move these down here so you can see what I'm doing. So we are going to put all of these along. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure they're in shot, Jez. And 5. Let's move these out of the way a minute. We'll deal with you later. So that's my 5. Then I'm going to take the next one and I'm going to start here and go 1, 2. Those flowers might be upside down, Jez. There we go. And then we'll go, let's do this side one. So we'll start here with that one. And this way you know that you're getting a different one in each of them. So now we're going to start here. And then the last one, we start at the end. So that is how we get a nice little mix up of pattern going on there. Okay, I am happy with that, I think. Now you might now you've got to remember, if you sit there and decide, I'm not sure I like those two blues together, so if you think, well then I need to swap it with another one, then you need to swap something else as well. So it is difficult if you're now thinking, oh, I might like to swap it. The whole point about this is to be quick. So I think the idea of swapping out defeats the object really. So I don't want to do that. Now you can ink or not ink. that's up to you. I like inking, so I think they would look better inked up. So that's what they'd look like inked, which is an option. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them all together before we move on to the next bit, and I'm just going to paper clip them together so they're ready to be used at the next stage. But I just want to show you that process one more time. The other way of doing it is you could rip a little bit harder. I have printed these on 120 GSM, so ripping it is harder. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got our rips here, and I'm going to do exactly the same. Lay 5 across, the next 5 we start at number 2, not a lot of difference on that one. And here we're going to start at number 3. And then on this one we're going to start with number 4. And then finally we're going to start here right at the end. And that's how they all look. And then with this one, if you ink, because you've ripped, you are going to get a nice little effect there where it's ripped, and it's not going to match exactly because it's a torn edge, but they are going to slot in there pretty well. And inking, I think, works really well when you've done the ripping, because you've got all those lovely fluffy edges and exposed bit of white to pick the ink up. So there's that. And then we've got the final one, and I've just thought of an idea with this final one. Is I might come in with a circle punch. So I might come in with a 2-inch circle punch. Make sure they're all nicely stacked together. Oh, it's going to struggle. Right, I've made enough of a mark. That's really hurt my hands, but we have made enough of a mark there. punch. Right, so that's stack number 1. So now we've got these like so. Right, let's I want to make sure all the circles are well and truly lined up. Right, we might take that one there like that. So it's like that, like that. And then we'll just cut these two in half. There we go. So now, same principle. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh! Right, let's make sure these go in the right order, because otherwise it will get mucked up. And then we're going to start on the next one. I've got enough space there, Jez. That one's very off camera. Then we put our circles in. So always moving over one with each new bit that you place. And then finally on the end here. And you can use this idea for making greetings cards as well. If you've got different, you know, use up your scrapbook paper and do it like that. So let's just ink one of these. There we are. That's how that looks like, all inked up. So I'll gather these all up like I've done before, and then we'll stick them all down and start making something with them. So I'm going to do some tags with some tea stained cardstock. So I'm cutting that 7 inches. They're 3 inches. I'm going to go to 3 1/4 wide, so we'll have a little bit of a margin. That's quite a nice tag shape. So I'm going to do 3 of these so we can see the 3 different styles. So I've got that. I am going to round the bottom of each of the tags. big tags, we go for a big rounded bottom. I think so. Do them any size you want. I might do the others a slightly different size so that I get better bang for me. Right, that one doesn't quite cut right, so I'm just gonna take those fluffy edges off. There we go, nobody'd know they were there. And then we're gonna do the tops. I might want bigger. I might want a bigger top. Let's try. This one is a bigger top. Do I prefer that bigger top? I don't actually. I might trim a bit off the top of that because I find that a little bit too bleh. So we'll go back to this. I should have done the other shape that I do like. Never mind. We've done that now. All these bits have like pinged and ponged everywhere. There we go. So you're going to go on the back. I think you look nice for writing. There we go. So let's pick out the ones that are inked. There we go. So we can see the three different shapes. So let's take this one in the middle, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle. Let's see if I can remember how everything went. That was definitely how everything went. Right, so I think these need to be a bit shorter than how I've made them. Yeah, we're going to lob the bottom of this tag off. So now they've got tags behind, it's easier to see. Of course, this one, they could all be turned around the other way. Right, there we go. So let's glue them down into place. So I'm going to start with this one because that I can set it up there as high as I want it and make sure that it's straight with the two edges. And now that one will go into there. So the ripped one is going to be less matchy as the cut ones. This one, well and truly, is not matching. So we are overlapping a little bit, but that's okay. So that's that one. So I'll just chop the bottom of this off a little bit because it's too long. I do our little rounded edges. There we go. So that's that tag without much thought to it. And let's get this one put down. We'll have alternative ways to do this in a sec, so just bear with, check that one's correct. Yeah. So that's that one, and again I'm going to trim a little bit off the bottom of this like so, and then the final one to stick down is this one. Again, these will go together fairly easy because they are cut straight. And you can see if you look at the tags there, the difference that ripping and cutting straight does. And it is really just down to personal preference, which you like the best. And I'm going to show some alternatives because I quite like the idea of there being a little bit of matting and layering going on. Can we move you over a little bit? Right. The perfectionist in me is going to have to trim this side a bit, because there's more space on one side than there is the other, and I don't like it. I managed to keep the sides pretty even on the other one. Right, this one's got a bit of a gap, and it's because these edges, these bits would have moved slightly. They weren't perfectly the right size. But that don't really matter. So that one's going up, so it's only this one that's just a wee tad out. So I'll take a bit off the bottom, and I need to take a bit off this side. So it's slightly better. I'm going to take a bit off the top of that because I don't like how it's looking. That's a bit better. It's more or less the way that was. There we go. So that is that way of the whack attack. And now I'm going to show you an alternative. So for my next alternative way of using it, I have got some brown paper packaging here, and I've cut it to 1/4 inch taller and wider than, you know, what the square would be. I've also inked these ready. They look nice. I like them. So yeah, so this is an alternative way of doing this. So I'm gonna stick these down so we've got ourselves a little bit of a margin around. So just laying that out there to make this easier. I'm gonna just, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. So that's at the top, Jez. That's underneath. That's there. That's there. That's there. Yeah. That could be any way up, so that's a little bit more difficult to see. There we go. So they're all ready to now get glued down. I'm going to do the easiest one first. So we have got just a little bit of a margin around, not a massive one. So it's an 1/8 of an inch around. So widthways you can see where the margin is, so it's just a matter of sort of matching it along the top. So I'm filming this in advance. I'm filming this without seeing the schedule. So I think we might be paired up again. So I actually don't know who my partner in crime is going to be, or my partner in craft. So I can't give them a shout out. I might be able to soon, because I'm going to make all of these up eventually. So by the time I've edited and everything, I may well know, in which case I can tell you. But please do go and watch everybody, give them a like, give them a subscribe if you're not subscribed, leave a comment. I imagine, as usual, there'll be a little giveaway at the end of this, and to be in with a chance, you do need to like and comment on every video, and then Rach picks a video at random to choose the winner from. I think it is that way round. So yeah, so make sure you do that. I love the collaborations for bringing me new people to my channel, and I always get some lovely new subscribers, which is fantastic. So that is how that goes. So let's do this one. Yeah, so I love it when people go, oh, I've just found you, new to your channel. If you are new, I hope you like what you see, and please consider subscribing and ringing that bell and coming back for more. So that's that one done. I'm going to trim this side off a little bit because I didn't place that first one right, so I've got a little bit more of a margin, so I'll just trim that down, and it's a little bit better that way. So then the final one, it's easier when you've got two corners when you're starting with for getting the placement right. So there's a little tip for you. So if I had cut this straight across, well, not straight across, but you know, across, so it included both corners, then that would have made the placement of your first bit much easier. So I'm going to overlap these a little bit because otherwise it's not going to fit on. So that is those three with a little bit of a margin. So this could now be mounted, or it could be sewn round, which is another way of doing it. I could sew round all the edges and make it look like a proper patchwork with it being sewn, which I may well do, and then I can mount it on a tag base. Okay, so I got myself some tag bases. I just made them quickly out of some cream cardstock. It's 300 GSM, and I just used my alcohol inks, distress oxide inks rather, to decorate the back. You've seen me do it before if you've watched me regularly. I just dabbed the pads on some cereal liner. This is the one I use. It's well grungy. I just dab the pads, give them a squirt of water, and then dip the tag in. It doesn't take long. It's quicker than going and tea dyeing, although we have got perfect weather for tea dyeing at the moment because it's Scorchio. We're having a little heat wave here in the UK. So yeah, that's what they all look like. And I dabbed a little bit at the top and the bottom because you can see those bits. So that's what we've done. And then I fussy cut out everything. When I went to bed last night, my hands were really sore and I couldn't understand it. And it was the fussy cutting and then it's the inking, and it's this hand that hurts the most because you're holding it tight whilst you're then going around inking, and this was so painful. There we go. I suffer from art. So now I've got all the bits and bobs to sort of decorate the tags. So I love these birds. I just think they are so cute, and I thought a little bird told me on each of them would be lovely. Now of course they're a little bit lost. That one's not too bad there on that circle. I quite like that, but these are a little bit lost, so they need a little bit of something behind. Actually, that one, I thought I'd use one of these on it. Yeah, that was what you decided, Jez. Kind of did it and took a photo, and I thought I'm never going to remember, and I had to dismantle. So I did, you know, use some thoughts before I came on, because otherwise we'd be here forever. So I liked that one like that. So this one needed a little bit behind. So these are those little tags I cut down, and then I thought it's not quite big enough. So those are all the little tags cut down. So then I cut bits of the backing paper down. So I cut that one to be on the back of this, and that sort of helped it pop a little bit more. And this one on the back of that one. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, Jez. You put that one on the back of that one, and that one on the back of that one, because I tore them to fit properly. There we go. That was how we did it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. There we go. That's my little Punch and Judy impression there. And then I thought I want to use some of these like faux ripped sort of washi, and I thought it'd be quite good to sort of have it as though this was being stuck down there. So we put like the pink on that side and the blue on that side, so like that's been stuck, and it needed a word. So there, chuck a bit of friendship on there. I wanted him standing on something, so this was the bottom of those Polaroid photographs. Don't want to waste it, so I thought we'd have that there as a little perch. Thought that was nice, and I might have that perch held down there. And I was just thinking we'll have some laughter. There was loads of laughter at the retreat, and this is like based on the idea of the retreat we just had at the farm. And then I thought I could stick that down to the tag, maybe one at the top and one at the bottom. I mean, obviously I'm going to be sticking it down properly, so I liked that. And then this one, he's already got a branch, so he doesn't need a branch. What should we have now? Bit of peace. There's a bit of me that thinks he needs a branch, so he's like the little peace dove, you know, that you get on like Christmas cards. So it was peace and quiet. That's what we had. Bit of peace and quiet. It was lush. So there we go. And I might put these tags in the journal I make about the retreat. There we go. So that was my ideas there for that. So we can get sticky wicking. Okay, so move you there. I'll do one in real time and then speed the rest up, I think. Or if in the editing process it's taken too long, I'll speed it all up. So I have speeded it up a little bit here because I did need a little bit more time, because I've thought of something else to add. So yeah, so I'm just sticking it down, layering it up. I know I'm covering up a lot of the patchwork bit behind, but I think it's nice to see it through, and especially if you put in there like a patchwork bird on. I like the effect. I love these little washi tape things that Angela made. I just think that really sort of adds something to it. And then, so now that's all done, I'm sticking it to the back of the tag, and I really like having that sort of matte around. I think it helps it pop, and when you see at the end, when I compare the tags, you can see the difference that they do make. So they're just gonna use that bit of offcut, and I'm making my hole reinforcers. So I use the big hole from the crocodile and a 1/2 inch circle punch there to make my hole reinforcers to go into the top. And I'm just going to ink round them a bit. It was quite light, the bit of paper that I used there, but it works okay. And it was just a nice, quick, easy way of making a hole reinforcer. I do have a die that cuts a load out, but this was just quick to hand. I knew I didn't have the colours that I wanted in the pot that I've got all cut up. So now I need some ribbon. I sort of trialled that one. I thought, oh, I need some now, so let's have a little look-see. And then I found this other ribbon, which I thought was perfect. It kind of, it's a Stampin' Up ribbon. Whether it's still available or not, I have no idea. But it was the nice colour. So I like to loop a bit in, and then I tie some of the twine there that's tea dyed around the top. And that is my tag. That's my first whack a stack. I was going to say whack attack. That was a children's program in the UK. So I like that. I think that worked out really well. So now I'm going to do the others, and I will speed it up. I'm going to do time lapse, and I'm going to remember this time to not press slow motion. So that's the 3 of them finished. Can't remember which ones which one I did now on camera, because I've been and edited the video. I've only got 12 minutes left to be under the hour. I do hope you're watching on double 1.5 speed is what I do. So you can see the difference there between having a background and not having a background. I do think the matting makes it pop a bit more, but it's still okay without matting. So yeah, that's those. Now I did have one last idea. I've done lots of prep for it. So I had a load of, so with the extra bits, I just stuck them like before on here to a bit of brown packaging, and then I wanted to see what they would look like sewn. So I have sewn around them. Like so, and I have got them unbacked. Oh no, that one is backed. Oh yeah, I left that one unbacked so I could show you. Oh no, that one's for a tag. Can't remember what I'm doing. So I just sewed around these bits and left the outside and glued it down then to another piece of brown paper packaging, and then sewed all the way around the edge, so that the stitching, you could only see the edge stitching, which was fine. And then I decorated it and I stitched round these bits before I put it on, and then just put a little tab at the top. I mean, I didn't have to have that. You could just have it, you know, like that as a journaling card without a tab. That would be fine, but I just put a tag tab at the top there because I really liked it. So I've done a little straight stitch around that inside one, and then I glued it to the backing and then did a smaller zigzag around that and then just stuck the sentiment on. So that was that. And then on these ones where I sewed all the way around it, that was so it could then get stuck to a tag and then decorated in the same way. I haven't sewn around the little bird because I just thought that would be ridiculous and it wouldn't sort of benefit anything if I did that. I've got the others cut out, ready to go, and I will finish them off and bring you a little flip through, so to speak, of all of them. But I just want to show you the sort of stepping up of the different ideas. So you've got one there just quite simply stuck down to your card. You've got one there where we've added a mat, and then we've got one there where we've gone the whole step further and stitched round. So that is our variations. So do let me know which one you like best. That obviously is a lot more work. That is the quickest. That was just a slight step up from that. So that one, I think it's worth going that extra little bit for that. That one, if you really got time and you like it, then do that. I really like to see the stitching, but I really like that as well. I like that and all. I like them all. So and then there's just a little bit of a journaling card. You could do it without stitching. I might do a version of this without stitching as well, so we can compare. So I'll get them done and then I'll come back to you. So there they are, all finished. So that's those tags without any stitching. And then I finished the one off that I was stitching. So I stitched round the topper. I ran out of words for these three, so I just, rather than print another sheet off, I just got some that I made myself. So done that one. I double matted that. I didn't feel it was popping enough with just the one, and then I did that one. So that is all of the different styles of my stack and whack. So we've got the really simple of just sticking them to a tag, inking first. I didn't do any uninked because it's just not my bag. And then sticking them on a mat, backing the mat and making a little tag that way, matting them and adding them to a bigger tag, and then going the full 9 yards, as they say, across the pond, and stitching, and then stitching on a tag. So there we go. I have got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and that didn't take too long to do. So there we go. A simple thing of ripping a stack of sheets or cutting a stack of sheets into 5, creating 5 new patchwork style patterns, and then creating this lot. Add a topper and away you go. So hope that was useful. Hope you will go and see everybody else that's taken part in the collaboration. There'll be a link down below. Rach always makes a link that has a link tree, and it opens up and takes you to everybody. I don't know who my partner is, at the moment because I'm filming this ahead of time, but I'm sure it'll be fabulous. So many fabulous creators taking part. Okay, bye for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave me a comment to be in with a chance of the giveaway. Okay, bye for now.